Está escuchando www.oghuskyradio.com. Yeah, I just had to throw that shit out there. Though. Broadcasting live from the east side of Los Angeles, worldwide. We are live from the east side. Artists come to the hood to get interviewed. Why? I do not fucking know, but every week we do this every Thursday night. Original defenders of hip-hop. Hip-hop started in the hood. That's where we at. As a matter of fact, I don't even think cats like this would even come in if it wasn't, you know what I'm saying? But we like to tell people we broadcasting live from the east side of Beverly Hills. You say east side of anything and it's, you know, makes you OG. So we say better now. East side of Los Angeles, worldwide, OGHuskyRadio.com. Artists that we have tonight, I want to put it out there. I mean, not that it's easy to grab a mic and you know what I'm saying, and MC or grab the turntable and scratch, but when you're risking your freedom for the element of hip-hop that you represent, we definitely need artists like this to get their shine, you know what I mean? And I find it more and more that cats that are active or that have done a lot ain't even in here to promote, you know what I mean? Themselves or their website or that of that nature. But go ahead and introduce yourselves individually first so they know who we have in the spot.
Yo, it's Big Donor 1, SKA Mob, chilling here, east side of the tracks.
Yeah. This is Fuct, that fool you don't want in your crib fucking with your bitch. Like,
and the other guy said he'll be right back.
That's my homeboy OG Fib, SKUTI in the house.
Let's get into this real quick, man. Yeah, definitely. This is.
I translate.
How many interviews have you done before, Donor?
I've done like, I think this is like my fourth one.
Yeah,
I try to stay at the Fox Undercover. One from my homeboy at 5 a.m. and then I try to keep it with the OGs, dude.
What's up? Why not so many and shit? You know, for an artist that has put in work like you have.
Basically, study that shit, dog. If you fucking put yourself out there too much, you get the wrong people looking at you, i.e. the cops, fucking haters. So I try to do my thing, hit the cut, and then go lay low for a minute, let everyone else kick up the dust.
Flickr Don Mega 23. Motherfucker don't even have a like donor.com, nothing. Just
no
look
Facebook,
on Flickr, no Facebook, nothing.
No Twitter, no nothing.
But y'all
ain't never got caught.
There's a secret, motherfuckers. Hillbrews.com, HEELBRUISE. That they support him, so all we could do is, you know what I mean, support those that support you. So hillbrews.com. How about for yourself, man? Where's the website for yourself, man?
for me, just gotta look on everybody's website. They might have a photo of me somewhere.
There it is. What got you into graffiti, man? Like, was it seeing someone up, or like, what is it that made you want to fucking, or think something you could do?
Honestly, this true story. I was probably like 4th grade. I went to a private school in Highland Park, and we used to race our little boats in the LA River. Every Friday, they would have a little boat race to build your own boat, and whoever won. But as I would walk, the whole LA River was bombed with OGs, you know, UTIs, you know, SKAs, LODs back in the day, and it fascinated me. You know, they drew characters, dinosaurs. It's probably late 80s, and since then, they actually bombed my school one day, and we came in, and I seen the bombing in the school, and the teacher was like, "Everyone don't look," and she put the blinds. I go, "That's ill." I got detention for 2 days because I liked the graffiti. She said it was wrong, but I guess that's what started off the little fire right there.
How about for you, Fuck?
That's good.
What got you into graffiti, making you want to do it and shit?
I grew up in East Los Angeles, right in Boyle Heights area. So I saw a lot of like gang writing, and a lot of people just like kind of making a name for themselves around that area. And so from there on, I just more influenced with like the streets and the paint that was hitting the walls, and it just caught my eye. And then I had friends that surrounded me would like start doing block letters, but I was more just like tagging my name, and then kind of went through a few names in a short period of time, but kind of got the whole like aspect of it and just went on from there.
While you brought it up, what are the names you had before you guys got your names respectively?
Names, I really stuck with one, OG, because it's like, actually how I got my name was from the east side right here. I grew up in El Sereno, California. My cousin was a skater in the 80s, and he looked at me one day and he said, "You know what? I ain't a tagger no more. I'm a banger. You can have my name."
Oh,
so
shit.
I got to give love to my cousin, Lumpy from Sereno Lock Street. He's OG donor. Probably 89, 90, kicked me down with the name, gave me a couple little styles. From there, I went on, and that's basically how I got my name. And I try to keep it simple, like as easy as it gets so everyone can read it. Your grandma can read it. Your mom can read it. Your tia, because that's what it's about. Advertisement. You get too wild, no one reads it. And I put so much work into it, I never wanted to change it. So I've just kept the same name fucking eons of years.
And Fuct. How do you come across the name Fuct?
I don't know. I went through a few names like Pest, Shock. But that was real young, just kind of tagging, trying to get the full feel, get my little wrist down real quick, And then I got fucked when I just was like living that crazy life, thinking nothing was there for me, but just being a stubborn little motherfucker. And then I just thought I'd write fuck. And it went on from there. And now I'm writing, to today, and I'm still going.
What do you guys consider yourselves? A bomber, a piecer, a tagger? If that term exists in your vocabulary, I want to know, just for the sake of what you guys do.
Honestly, I started off on the buses in the 90s, RTD. I rode the bus to school, and that's all I basically knew is how to scribe my name on the bus. And I just try to ride as many buses as I can, hitting up. And I probably stuck there for 8 months and then grabbed a can and, got a little style and just went from there. So I started off as a tagger because that's what it was in the 90s. Artists. There's a bunch of names depending who you're talking to and what kind of deals you're trying to get. But we're graffiti artists, straight taggers, in L.A.
How about for yourself?
Same here. Like just catching flare tags and stuff like that in the 90s was like the thing, and just getting your non-stops and all that. That's what it was about. And that's kind of like where I grew up from, all that. And then, it's more about, so I say a tagger, and then I started bombing because I was learning letters, and I was just like, it just went on from there.
So now what would you consider yourselves? Still a tagger?
Tagging bomber, I don't know.
Yeah, bombers, we got our letters down, so we could say we're bombers. We pretty much could go out there, I think, with a couple colors, and we could rock some shit. So
yeah,
we're bombers, dude, and you'll see our names in the grime. You don't see it on the alleys of Melrose.
Piecing's cool, but I don't know if I have the patience for that
shit. OGHuskyRadio.com, Flickr, DonMega23, HillBrews.com. That's the only way you're gonna catch up with these dudes, I guess. No Facebook, no Twitter, nothing of that nature. We're about to get into some shit right now. So if this this lifestyle doesn't, fascinate you, might want to turn it off or what your fake beliefs are. So I want you guys to answer as honestly as possible. Is there a underground culture of graff? Like, is there a little movement, secret society? Does that shit really exist?
Back in the day, I could say there was, before the internet. I have nothing against the internet. That's why I don't really have a Twitter, the Facebook, and the social media, because to me, graffiti was fun. That's why I got this mask on. I like to see people's tags and wonder what they look like, and you heard the rumors, oh, he's a gangster, or he's a tall white dude, or this cat's real big, and it was like a superhero. You seen him everywhere, and then when you met him, it's like, oh, that's that cat. So I don't know, that's basically what I feel. It was underground. Now with the internet, it's not underground. Cops know what a crew is. When I wrote, they didn't know what a crew was. They just, what is this stuff getting on the walls, and why is it everywhere? What's a crew? What's a tagger? Now there's cops infiltrated into crews. There's rats. There's snitches. There's it's on commercials. It's on video games.
Is that good for hip hop?
I think it killed the game. It's never gonna be what I seen it as in the 90s. The Panic Zone rock, the Hollywood 101, the 10 freeway just being untouched for months and months and pieces running. It'll never be like that, and cats and kids these days will never see that. It's still there. There's European tips now. There's fresh paint. There wasn't that. The guys I looked up to had stock tips and Krylons, But I give respect to the cats doing it. They took it to another level, and as long as it keeps living, I'm happy with it.
So do you think hip hop, is it part of hip hop, or did hip hop just take it in? Because like with a culture you need art. So then it's like, just for like I said, anyone listening, this is his story. You know what I mean? Like, if that's what you truly believe, I'm not here to fucking say, well, no, that's not true, because I listen to punk rock when I'm out there fucking scribing. You know what I mean? But for Donor, SKA, did hip hop embrace it, or did you know what I mean?
Hell yeah. From the OG start, man. When I picked up the spray can art or seen Beach Street or any of that, it was the 5 elements of hit: MCing, DJing, the graffiti, and breakdancing. That's what I want it to be. You know, I dressed the dress. I tried to break dance. I couldn't do that. I tried to spit rhymes. I flipped my tongue out. I tried to DJ. I just mess up people's needles. I grabbed a marker and a can. I was like, hey, I fit in this scene. You know, this is my. Unfortunately, back then, you couldn't make money off graffiti. The other 4 elements, you could make money off of. I picked the one where you got the street fame. But now you can make money off of graffiti, and I ain't hating on the cats that are doing that.
For as much work as you've done, do you think that you'll cash in on that, for lack of a better term?
Honestly, yeah, I got a couple things in the works, you know, because I'm an older cat now. I got a family. I actually got a book deal, you know, a children's book. They're hollering at me, and they want me, you know, to write about, you know, internet and internet safety, just on a different tip, you know. And for my son, and that's sake, I'm looking at the deal, and I got a couple pages sketched. I got the clothing deals going, you know, a couple skater brands approaching me to do that. So, you know, and it's my time. I feel I put in my work, and everyone else is getting shine. Some of these kids go to college and don't even hit the walls, and they're getting deals, you know, working for these clothing companies.
I want to ask you about that. How do you feel about that? Like, in this era, I mean, you take a, you know, piece up your backyard, you know what I'm saying? Take a flick, put it up, you know what I'm saying? Look for a sponsor, do that kind. Did it take away? Are there still artists out there? Like, what's your, like, and then just how many years have you been in the game before you even answer that, though, so the cats know, you know what I mean?
I started probably, my toy years were probably 80, 89, 90 when my cousin gave me the name.
Yeah.
And I wouldn't say, and I even was in a couple crews where like, hey, Donor, you got to get your styles down to go talk to homeboy. Like, you know, and everyone was a toy, and I'm the first to say that. And everyone bites letters, you know, like that's what graffiti's about. If there's the first motherfucker out there that says he ain't looked at something or changed the letter up or got an influence, he's fucking lying. Because no one's born doing graffiti and knowing how to grab an aerosol can. Someone showed you, and someone's going to teach you, and someone's going to mentor you, you know, how to do graffiti.
So how do you feel about, like, studio artists, for lack of a better term, you know what I mean?
Fuck Obey and all them motherfuckers out there making money, you know. If I had it, I could say it as a hater, like the rap game. The underground rappers are gonna hate on like 50 Cent and all the fools getting paid, but you gotta respect them at the same time if they did it. But I don't respect them as an OG. You know, I respect homeboys like my little homie right here and other homeboys out there painting the cuts in the alleys of downtown. And when I drive through, you know, and I see an Obey or, you know, all the kids wearing it don't get my respect. Yeah. So you could take that for what it's worth, you know.
OGHuskyRadio.com. What would you rather see? A beautiful canvas, like a million colors, you know what I mean? Can control, no drips. I don't know, 7D, whatever the fuck, how deep you want to go in that piece and shit. Or just like a grimy ass tag, personally.
That has no history, it means nothing to me. If it has no history to it, no background to it, then I don't know. The colors are beautiful. I could use them better in my piece.
Yeah, I think that realm of art, and I'm going to speak on it, is the graffiti artist I see up on the ledge using colors. I respect that cat because I know it's late at night. I know he got the ghetto bird going over him. I know he's going through hoods. I know he can't see what he's doing at a distance, step back. He don't have his iPod in his ear in his room with a couple stencil tips or in the cousin's backyard. Nah, I respect those artists a lot more than any artist in the world. Yeah, Van Gogh, Leonardo da Vinci, because they were all in their room with their aspects of art, you know, whether it be aerosol, acrylics, watercolors. They were in a realm. When you go out on a ledge that's 4 inches wide or a heaven, the back of a freeway sign, and you have cans and you got to do it in 30 minutes and that shit looks ill, that's artwork. Those are the best fucking artists in the world. That's what I give respect to.
OGHuskyRadio.com. Flickr, Don Mega 23. Look at the archives right there. With the laws being different from when you started, would you, I don't want to say mentor, like even, because fuck, who's really a mentor, who's really a role model? But let's say a little kid, maybe you started at a young age, 13, 14, coming up to like wanting to get into this. Would you encourage them to get into your lifestyle, for lack of a better term, knowing that the laws are different from when you're doing it? And you're talking a little bit off there, like on the technology tip too, you know what I mean? Like if you could just get into that, would you?
Would I recommend to a youngster?
Yeah.
Nah, honestly, on the wheel, I've matured like anyone else in the age. And I remember, I'm going to share a story with you, OG spray can art, Days from New York. I looked up to the dude. He had a D, you know what I'm saying? I rocked his D a couple times, and I'm gonna admit it, Days, you OG New York. But when they did a follow-up interview on him, the cat was in the military. I served in the military. The cat was in his military uniform saying how he felt you know, he wouldn't do it, and it was a stage of his life, and he was young. It hurt me. You know, that put a dagger in my heart because that's someone I looked up to, and he quit, you know?
Yeah.
And I was like, oh, Dave's quit. He says it's not cool to do graffiti. I stick with it, you know, to keep it OG, and I'll tell the kids, yeah, go with it, but it's not what I did when I was young, and I wouldn't push it on a kid, especially here in LA, because they're going to get caught up in the system, and once in the system, they got to get into a hood, and once they get out, their life's screwed. So if you want to screw your life up, it'll pretty much screw your life up because that's the way the laws are now. Back then, they slap you on the hand, you clean up some graffiti,
Yeah.
you know, it erases off your record. But to a kid this age, I would say, you know, go practice your art and then try to get into a clothing company, but you're not going to do what we did back in the day. It's just never going to happen that way, you know? And cats like this that have done it and they're continuing to do it, you know, they've already worked up to it 10 years, and you're not going to get that in 2012.
Were there conflicts with you personally, like being in the military and then knowing, like, you know what I'm saying? What were you anti everything, or you're just like, I guess more like the reasoning behind it? Because that's amazing that you're in the military with so much discipline, and you're pretty much going against everything that you know what I mean?
Yeah, it was. I was a young cat, and I'll tell you the story. What happened? I have a homeboy, GK. What up, GK?
Yeah.
We were bombing and killing the heavens back in the, you know, the late 90s. We probably did 20 or 30 of them. They didn't know what graffiti was. So basically when they arrested my homeboy, they thought Gang Donor was one guy. He got 3 to 4 years in the state pen. That scared me because I don't want to do 3, 4 years, and I knew. So I took it as, you know, Donor, you got busted, go to the military. Think of it as you're doing 3 years just like your boy.
Oh,
But
shit.
I actually got some training. They taught me how to shoot a gun. I was actually special forces. I did 2 tours over there in the Med and stood up with graffiti. I ought to be in a Navy ship and see image STK scribed on a window. You know, you still
shit.
see New York.
Yeah.
You know, when you bond in every city I went to, I flicked. Graffiti's worldwide, man. I've traveled the world twice, and in every country I went to, I would go with my camera and find the graffiti, and that shit's worldwide. So, you know, you just gotta plan your life. Graffiti ain't gonna pay all your bills, but you still gotta be straight. It's always gonna be there. And if I tell a young cat, if you like it, you still gotta get your job, dog, and pay your bills. And the walls are always gonna be there. You know, these cats that want to go out there and hit all the freeways in 1 year and get the cops on them and hit all the spots that have been recycled, you're killing yourself, dude. You know, just if you want to stay in it, hit a couple illegals, do a couple bombs, go to school, and keep your life going. And then stick with the art, you know, and you'll have your longevity.
I wanted to ask, Fucked, do you still consider yourself active?
Yeah, I do. I take a break here and there, but no matter what, my shit's still running, and it's in every other state now. So it's more like I just got to keep at it, you know, keep my pace going, just like he was saying. So I'm just pacing my way all the way through, and I'm gonna try to reach the top to as much as I can.
How about for yourself, Donor?
Yeah, I say I'm active because of my age. I ain't doing what little homie's doing. You know, I don't think I can get my ass up them heavens no more. But you know, I'll still get my scribes and I'll get my spots. And you know, like I say, you got a life to live too, so you got to balance that out. But graffiti's always gonna be in my heart. I think at my age, for me to last this long, you know, like, and all my whole OG homies I chill with, we're OGs, and it will never let go. Cause the other cats wash out like a Drake in the rap game. You know, they're here for a year or two, and next year they ain't gonna be here. And me being an OG bomber, I've seen that. Seen cats bomb 2 summers, 3 summers, and where are they at now? So it's a science to this, and some cats don't know that and don't learn it. You know, I studied the freeways. I studied how many cars went down the 10, how many cars went down the 101. I did 3 tags in one night on 3 different freeways, and cats were calling me like, you're up again, you're up again. No, that's a science. That's advertisement, man. You hit 3 freeway exit and fools will hit you. But there's stuff I learned about this game and this knowledge that I've kicked to youngsters to pass on, you know, that want to stay in this game. But cats don't usually know that. They'll go hit 10 freeways and they're in jail or they're on the news.
OGHuskyRadio.com. You brought up the panic zone earlier. Why is it called the panic zone from your understanding?
Well, my OG understanding is the train, you'd be in there. I actually was in there. What's up, Alloy? With Alloy, you know, when the trains go by, you get so panicked, you don't know, in such a confined space, you don't know where to run.
What is it? It's like not even a 10-foot from where the actual train is running. I read about that. Not that I ever was in there. But it's like only like 10 feet, and that shit, like, you feel that shit vibrating as it's coming by. Like, if they say too, if one of those doors is open or something sticking out, pretty much gonna get hit, right?
Yeah, you're done. You're playing Frogger. I mean, that's the one thing, you know. And I tend to stay on the freeways. I didn't hit too many street spots. I mean, I feel the freeways is all you need to do. People are going so fast, they ain't gonna see your drips, you know. Like you can take your time. You know, there's reasons why I hit the free. I'm not gonna give all my tips, but you know,
that's the next book.
That's the next book.
All right, here it is. Right now, too, I want to know. We've heard like from Frame about you know, Yards, some of the crazy shit he's seen. So I want to ask you first, Donor, and we always ask the artists. One of the things we always ask is the Panic Zone, because we're pretty much down the street from it. So you know, it's a historical landmark for anyone on the east side. But we like to ask too, what's the craziest story that you could tell that you're doing during Graff? You know what I mean? Like, you know, I mean, yeah, it was a top to bottom. It was 100-story building, but like some real shit. Like, you know what I mean? Like,
yeah, my homie's gonna be a little mad. Hey, GK, I'm sorry about this, homie, but you a weird motherfucker. This is going back to, I say it was like 93, 405 freeway in the 101. Full heaven. Me and that cat, you know, we'd get the fronts, we'd scoot up the pole, put the little piece of rope, we'd open the power box, hit the lights off. That would shut the lights off on the heaven, climb up there. He would hit one side, I would hit one side, depending on what we're doing. I was up there, I got the 2 on the left, he was on the right. He was a little faster than me. I'm filling in, I look to the left, motherfucker's jacking off on the heaven, laughing at the cars. I'm like, what you doing, dog? He's like, I love graffiti so much, it gets me off. I'll jack off to this shit. I scratched my head, I said, this is my riding partner, dude. But word up, I gotta say, we were young. He was a virgin still. But after that, you know, GK, word up, homie. That's the illest shit that's ever happened to me. I love you, Tim, motherfucker.
OGHuskyRadio.com. I think he has like the best one ever. You just knocked everybody off with that. How about for you, Fuck? And you have to beat him. Now you have to. It's like, and it's just Graff. It's competition.
I got a Graff story, but it's no
I don't think no one could top GK.
Yeah,
That's a
nothing
crazy
like that,
motherfucker, dog.
I can't be like, I wouldn't even want to say that about my homie. Like,
But go ahead, man. You got to tell one story.
Well, it was like me and the homie Atlas. What's up, Atlas? We went out early. I mean, one night going to catch tags, like using a harness, like hang off like a side of a bridge and stuff. And we go, and so I'm the first to go, and I go on it, try to like hang down and get the can and go tag, and then the harness kind of jerks me, and I'm like kind of dangling off the side of the freeway, which is like right off the 10.
I remember that shit.
And it's like right when I was pretty active around that time, but it kind of slowed me down because I had to let go of the whole harness. Oh, I had to let go of the harness, and when I let go, he was trying to hold it and pull me up and stuff, because I was dangling there for like 15 minutes or even less, but it was just like too long, you know. I had to let go. So I let go, and I fell all the way down and broke my whole side right here, all the way up to here. So I had a cast on for a while, and I like kind of go out the game for a minute. But yeah, that shit was like,
fuck, devil's advocate. Was it worth it?
It would have been, yeah, hell yeah.
That's OG, dog. It's hard, dude. You either gonna get caught or you're gonna let go. That's the shit you have love for graffiti.
Because if I would have let go any other way, I would have fell on my head. So I had to I was dangling for a while, and then he was like trying to pull me up. But at one point I just was like, later, bro.
Oh shit.
I was like, fuck it, I'm falling straight down, not on my head. But yeah, you know.
Damn.
That's very crazy, but no jacking off from that one though. Bro, now he's like, you falling. Oh, nah.
OGHuskyRadio.com. You tuned in. Flickr, DonMega23, HillBrews.com. Fucked ain't got nothing for us to find him, so y'all didn't have to look at the heavens and shit like that. Crews that you started with and crews that you've got to now, you know what I mean? We'll start with Donor, man, because I read about growing up in the East Side. I remember the CSD and DKC days when you were doing it. You know what I mean?
Hell yeah. Well, before I do that, I'm gonna give a shout out to my homeboy. He got to go handle some shit. OG Fib 1 UTI SKA. He got some business to handle, but that's my homeboy.
We're gonna have to get him here for like a 3-hour just by himself and shit.
He plays the stock. He plays the stock market and all that. So he got some trades to go do downtown.
There you go.
All right, dog.
As I was saying, man, I remember the CSD. You know, the scribes. You know what I mean? on the buses. And then line 45, which doesn't even run down to Huntington and Monterey anymore. But in those days, I remember the CSDs, like I said, and the DKC. But what other crews were you involved with?
I started CSD, was my first crew right here in Wilson High School.
Yeah.
Then I met my homeboy Ower right here in Lincoln Heights, and he put me down with LMC, and then we clicked up with another crew, DKC, after that. And basically, like I was saying, the more your graffiti progressed, the more better crews you get in. I took my stint from the military from there for 4 years, came back, and TKO was repping the scene.
Yeah.
So I got down with TKO and my OG homeboys, but everything in the world is on the bubble, the top of the world, and then it comes down. So at that time, I could say, yeah, TKO was on top of the world.
Yeah.
And then they came down, and you mature and you move on too, you know. And I was in SKA while I was with TKO, and I felt that those are my OG homeboys. They're my age. They grew up in the neighborhoods where I grew up.
Yeah. We
got families together. You know, besides graffiti, we could throw a barbecue, go watch a sports game. So that's my peeps, and that's what I rep right now, and that's the only thing I rep right now.
How about for yourself, Fuck?
I rep big at-large crew, on the run, all across America, nationals, fucking crushing team, NCT, AL, OTR, 3AK, all day, every day. FUCTE with an E. Watch out, I'm gonna bite you.
OGHuskyRadio.com. With the myths about donor, are you a white boy, homie? Like, cause I was back in the day. I remember that shit, you know.
I've tripped out, dog. The rumors.
That's some real shit, though, right?
About myself.
What are some rumors you heard about yourself?
I've heard I was a gangster. I mean, on the reels, I grew up in the hood, and there was a stage, which I will speak on fame. With fame, to all the young cats, brings drama, brings cops, brings beef. And when I did that Fox Undercover interview, next day I went to school, I had gangs wanting to get me. I had cats crossing me out just to cross me out.
Yeah.
I had girls ratting on my. So at that time, it was a tag bagging stage, and my family being from the neighborhood, El Sereno, right here, Lock Street. I went with them because those were the only cats that were going to back me up. My heart's there. I got love for all my homeboys there.
Yeah.
You know, and they respect me to the point they would cross out Donor and put up my other name, you know, I'm not going to say. But I have love for them and love for graffiti. I forgot the question.
With the crews, and you just started going off about your gangbanging days, man. Nowhere, Holmes, you know what I mean?
I think everyone went through that shit in the 90s, you know. It was a part of graffiti, and it was a part that I didn't like, you know, but that's another thing. Writing graffiti in LA, you have to deal with the gangs.
You know what? And can you really explain that to someone? We were talking about that off there. You know, if you grow up like in the outskirts, because to say, you know, the East Side, we know the East Side as, you know, the Hollenbeck. You know what I'm saying? Anybody in the Hollenbeck, the crash unit back in the day, swooping on fools. You know what I'm saying? The Northeast. You know what I mean? The Rampart scandals, all that. Like, that's what we know. But people on the outskirts, like in smaller cities, like we're the East Side. Like, it's so different from growing up in the hood, like how you're saying when you're going to school. And you know what I mean?
Yeah,
like,
if you make it 19, like I was saying, if you make it 19 to 21 in East LA or Compton or, you know, these bad hoods, you're an OG. So it's hard to do graffiti. I mean, that's one thing I speak on nationwide. You might have cats in Memphis or Florida or even New York, but they don't got the gang violence that we have here. You got to watch it. You want to be caught by the cops than a gangster. Because they'll roll you up, and if not, you disrespect their neighborhood. If you start getting up too much, you have lots of gangsters trying to go at you. So cats quit writing just for that simple fact. So I think LA is the hardest city to write graffiti in because you got to deal with the gangs, the police, and the beefs. You know, and cats out here, you cross them out, they'll shoot you. You cross out in Texas, they might smack you or throw a water balloon at you or, you know, whatever, because it doesn't go that serious. But out here in LA in the 90s, a cross out means, you know, and someone put 187, they meant that shit, you know. It wasn't just ha ha ha, I'm crossing you out and I'll see you at the party and we'll shake hands. No, it went that deep, and that wasn't something I was proud of, or that graffiti I don't think was proud of at that time. But just being in the neighborhood in LA and the colors and the gangster rap and Tupac and all that stuff going on at that time, that was a cool thing to do. OGHuskyRadio.com.
You guys wanted to give a little stories about Over too, like explain who Over was and your history with that too. You know what I mean? And let people know that don't know. You know what I mean? Especially people that aren't. Well, everybody knows. But I'm saying people not from LA that know the history. If you guys just break it down.
Over. I'll break down them first. At that time I was repping TKO, and I never really took a youngster under my wing. I wouldn't say under my wing, but I met the cat and I instantly felt like a vibe, you know, like you feel something, you know, when you meet a cat, like heart. You know, he might not be the dopest rider, or he might not be the handsomest dude or pull all the chicks, but you know when someone's real. But he did though, yeah. But you know when someone's real, dog. And when I met that cat, I felt the realest. I met Ricky too, and all the other cats, and you know. And you know, and I felt a little, you know, like a bond with these cats because they're from the area where I grew up.
Yeah.
They were hitting the same streets I was hitting up, you know, and they were keeping it real. And so I met the cat, and he got down with TKO, and he had all the heart in the world, dog. And that's all I gotta say. I love the motherfucker. I miss him with all my heart. The only cat I really invited to my house to eat dinner or would go get spots, that was a youngster, you know, because I always had my rules of who I trusted, and even if I had love for a youngster, I still had rules because I never wanted to get caught. But over, you know, the dude helped me move, dog. Like, I called all my friends one day, and I was moving my house. He came in his uniform with the truck, and the only cat out of my family, my brothers, helped me move my whole house besides Graffiti. And that's something you don't find, you know, friends like that. So with that cat, I would sit with over in my car and talk for hours and try to give him all the game that I have and tell me, well, like I'm telling you, don't go too fast, enjoy your fame, you know, watch out. And he was on his way, dog, and just wrong place at the wrong damn time. You know, nothing to do with Graffiti, nothing to do with beef. The dudes didn't even know him. Honest cat, dog, and fucking it took his life, you know, but I have love for him, and main reason I came on this show and brought my homeboy right here is, you know, to show love for Over and keep his name going on, because that fool was real, and the graffiti world don't get a lot of real motherfuckers like that.
No, you don't. That was one of a kind right there. I miss that nigga right now, just thinking about that fool right now, but that's like one fool right now. If he was here, he'd be rolling right here, right next to me. Day one to the end of fucking my life, I swear to God, that fool be right here. But he was doing it heart to heart, out there in the streets, killing that shit. Had heart for it. I didn't even know he was doing it at first, and he was just doing that shit, and then it just surprised me. He was like, yo, I'm over, you know, and then we went on from there, and then we became like Fucked Over the franchise and shit, just started like killing trains, walls, just kind of like doing our own thing, just getting the feel. We had like heart for it. We loved like getting away with that shit, the adrenaline, and like we worked with the homie Jimbo and shit. That was our boss at the time, and he would give us money to go buy paint. So it was more like an influence just to get out there and do it more, you know. It's like fuck. He's like, go do it here, go do it there, and me and him would like we worked together. Like that was my you know coworker and shit. So and my brother slash you know best friend, you know. So I was with him 24/7, you know, every day smoking weed, painting walls, fucking bitches, everything. You know what I mean? Doing it all together, and so we just kept doing it, you know. And then shit happened, you know what I mean? But wrong place, wrong time. But he was a good man. I named my son after him. My son named Ari too, you know, so.
OGHuskyRadio.com. Sorry for y'all listening. We get too real, but hey, man, you know what I'm saying? This is LA history, man, and history is like each person's story, you know what I mean? So someone might be in there, well, nah, Donor didn't get up that much, or nah, he only hit that one heaven, but he came on the newspaper. But until you lived it and know what it is, we're getting it actually, you know what I'm saying, from the actual people. These aren't stories. So that's what we're doing here. OGHuskyRadio.com is archiving hip-hop directly from the cats that are doing it, especially from the east side, because even as far as DJing and as far as music side, I don't think like the east side really got too much love. You know what I mean? And continually now, might be a little chip on our shoulder, maybe. But, you know, you always need that to drive you. You know what I'm saying? That's what will continue to drive us. OGHuskyRadio.com. We live from the east side of Los Angeles, always repping El Sereno, Boyle Heights, Lincoln Heights, Happy Valley, Rose Hills, you know what I'm saying? All the east side of y'all, you know what I mean? Like, not Silver Lake, no disrespect to Silver Lake or, you know, that side, but it's just that the east side that we know, and that's what we're trying to, you know, do here. With that, do you guys think, like, this will actually, like, people will actually understand the lives that you live, you know what I mean? Like, you have a kid, we all have kids, you know what I mean? And like, we're raising them like this is normal to them. You know what I mean? Like, when we're growing up, our parents thought we were fucking insane. And, like, we would not even comprehend that. What do you mean? You're going to fucking scratch a record and they're going to pay you? They don't want to hear that noise. You know what I mean? Or you're just going to go right on shit? Like, where's that going to get you? 2 times around the world. Sponsorships left and right. You know what I mean? Like, do you think people really truly understand this, or has it already just been watered down, saturated?
I think it's still like misunderstood by a few, you know. maybe a little more than a few, but you know, it's soon to come around and be respected, you know, from the streets, you know. So then, you know, the more that happens, the more it's gonna come in easy for us as far as being artists and working hard and doing what we can.
And I feel like, you know, like I said, I've studied shit. I've studied art. I've studied the OGs, Da Vinci, you know, Leonardo. You ain't popular till you're dead. So what me and this cat have done, until 100 years from now and another generation walks and finds it, and if they can cut that wall out, it'll be art then. In the modern day, people ain't gonna realize it as art.
Yeah.
And all the OG artists, you can go to all the galleries back in the day when they were doing it, they weren't recognized. There was some weirdo cutting their ear off, or some drugged out dude, or some weird dude. So we'll be respected. I mean, if we're here after 2012,
Yeah.
but you know, 100 years from now, they'll look back at this type of art, because on the reels, dog, to get a spray can and do what we do, it's art, man. And
Yeah.
ain't no one saying they can't do it. You know, it's letters, but you go show me you can do it. And who are you to judge art? You know, are you an artist yourself? No, we make it and we like it 100 years from now. But look, I say 20 years from now, from what I'm doing, it's in video games now.
Yeah.
It's on T-shirts. It's on clothing. And no one back in the day would ever think it would be to that tip.
Even the marketing aspect of it, we used to call them the grills. You know what I mean? You know what I mean? Now you got advertisement back there. Do you really think that's coincidence? You know what I mean? Like, actually break it down. They took that from the culture.
They studied it, like I said. Like,
Yeah.
I looked at Pepsi, Coca-Cola, and the utility companies, because where they put their billboards is where I wanted to put my name, because they pay people to
Yeah.
study and see how many cars pass by that area, to, you know, and that's how they buy billboards.
Yeah.
So I basically went into their, you know, theory, and that's how I did my graffiti. And it's the same thing. Like you said, you can put a Coca-Cola sign on the end of the 710 freeway, and 30,000 cars in an hour are going to see that Coca-Cola sign.
Yep. OGHuskyRadio.com. With that, I'm starting this campaign, so they haven't put advertisement in the front, so I need your help. Maybe you guys could help me out, but I want to bring back the destinations. You know what I mean? Like, they have yet to capitalize on that. So anyone listening that knows what that is, let's bring back the destination, see if we could get it rocking for a while.
Destination. I don't think so, no. There's cameras now. There's cell phones. I mean, when we were doing that, it was fun. You know, even the grills. I used to ride the 45 from Huntington Drive to school just to be cool, you know.
Yeah.
But you do that now, you have 14 cops waiting for you by the time you get to Broadway.
Destination, for those that don't know, is the front of the bus telling you where you're going. Back in the days, believe it or not, cats like Donor would hop on the front of that motherfucker, and the destination was Donor.
You write your tag, and you got destination. You hit the back, you got the grill.
OGHuskyRadio.com. How do you guys feel, real quick, before we cut out, about artists now? Like, who are the artists doing it right now? Or are there even artists doing it right now?
I'm going to give props to my homeboy right here, Fuct, Little Este, you know, the cats, you know, that keeping it real. They're the ones I see. There's not too many, you know, and it's not like I'm driving and I look, you know, certain shit's going to catch my eye and I'm going to look, you know, and that's what catches my eye, because you see so much toy stuff. You're driving on the freeway, you can't read it all. Like when I was a kid, I was in the backseat. Now I'm driving, so I don't want to wreck. But
Yeah.
the shit that's catching my eye, it's very little, you know, and it's sad, but you can't hate. It's the sign of the times, you know. The cats are going to get in trouble. There's cameras, there's cell phones, and all that.
How about for you? Who do you think, man, rocking right now? Besides yourself.
Well, all the homies from all my crews, I give a shout out to all of them, because they're around the world, you know what I mean? Around this whole United States doing their thing.
Hold on, before you, do you think when you started and doing it, that like you would, honestly, back, it's all city, and for what you have done, like, do you think, like, did you think it would get that far? Like, I'm gonna hit state to state, I'm gonna hit other countries.
No.
Honestly?
No, I just thought I was gonna hit East LA, and then it just
Some
went,
real
it went
shit.
further from there, and then it's just like, you
It
know,
evolves. It
and then
just
it
keeps
evolves, and
going.
then you meet people, and then you meet homies, and then there's a lot of like different characters out there that are very interested in like trains and other things, and you get their feel about it, and then boom, then you get all, you know, fucking elements of it, and you're just like, let's go.
Yeah.
The graffiti world's world, dog. Yeah, I don't think any of us would. I mean, I'll chill with them, but when I go to like meetings or these art shows or big graffiti, it's some crazy motherfuckers. But it's graffiti that brings all these weird, because you know it's not all gangbangers, it's not all ravers. It could be a punk rocker, it could be a surfer, it could be a Jewish kid going to a private school. Graffiti is all races, all colors, all looks, all sizes. But and in that question you had, the secret society, yeah, it does bring people that probably would never even chill together. And as far as DJing, you know, graffiti artists, you being into what you're into, we're into what you're into. You know, yeah, it's ill, dude.
There it is. OGHuskyRadio.com. Shout outs before we cut out, man. I know Donor has like 10 pages. I think that he says he ain't got no sponsorships, but that motherfucker was quick to write everybody's
I got
name
a bad
down
memory,
shit.
man. I got that military gave me that PSD, so my memory ain't all there. First, I'm gonna shout out rest in peace Over, rest in peace my cousin Bobby, Lino. I'm gonna give a shout out to OTR, SK, MSK, my homeboy Fib that was here, Pryor, Alloy, Fate, Hale, Sexo, Docs. What's up to the RUHs, Doubt, Keisho. I gotta give love to Bruisers, Hill Bruisers. They got a shop in Azusa. They got all that skate gear, Diamond, DGK. Go down there, buy all that shit. Tell them Donor send you get no tax, dude. Sorry, guys. I got King's Clothing in Pomona, GK, Sensei, Saber, Aloha, Este, my homeboy Amir, Jimmy Swindles, my cousin Jokes from Lock Street, and all my family from Lock Street. Rest in peace, Area, once again. Rest in peace, Over.
Yeah. I give a rest in peace Over, rest in peace Erie. Cats that should be doing it right now. They still are up in heaven, killing it. Give a shout out to all my crews. AL, I love all you niggas right there. We still doing it. We going hard in this motherfucker. OTR, we still here. We ain't going nowhere. You know what I'm saying? 38K, we all here all day. I'm trying to flow in this bit, you know. And then you know what I'm saying? Fucking NCT, I'm still here and I ain't going nowhere. That's all I'm saying. What you see is what you get.
OGHuskyRadio.com. Remember, man, if all else fails, and you know what I mean, we here repping for, you know, cats like you guys. If no one else, I mean, 4 interviews is some bullshit. There should be motherfuckers like trying to find you, but if they out and about, I mean, I ran into this dude. He literally grew up 5 to 10 blocks from where I grew up, 5 to 10 blocks from where I stay, and I ran into this dude at South Central LA. You know what I mean? Like that's where I met up with him. So if you ain't coming out your house, you know, that's the difference between us. You know what I mean? Like
we ain't no art shows, we ain't no Beverly Hills. You got to come to the hood, dog, and you got to watch your back when you come to find us where we're at.
Yeah.
And I think that keeps you on cot and that keeps you real, because graffiti art belongs in the hood. This OJ DJing, this building we're in, we in the hood, dog, and that's why I'm doing this shit, because this is what it started and this is what keeps it real. I can go to a Power 106 or do some of that, you know, commercial stuff, but I ain't on it, and I respect more the cats that keep it low-key underground OG, like OGHuskyRadio.com.
I ain't gonna trip, man. And on some real shit, I came across this dude before, knowing that who he was, on some hood shit. I don't want to put too much out there, but a transaction took place. And he had been here to the spot, but not just, you know, knowing what's going on. Anybody that passed by just realized it's like low-key, low-cut, because we are in the hood and we play by the hood rules, you know what I mean? Yep. But this dude literally had already been here before. I don't know if you want to put too much on that. I wish I could see that fucking smile.
Hell yeah, he opened the fence. I got in here real quick.
OGHuskyRadio.com. Peace.